opened the door and I was like, help. And then when he heard me, like, he grabbed me from my hair and then he slapped me. I have pictures of the evidence, like all the bruises, because even on Wednesday, he hit me like around like 3 in the morning. He would just wake up and like hit me. And then last Saturday for my daughter's birthday party, before I went to my daughter's birthday party, he slapped me 3 times. And then last week I did call the police. My sister called the police because he hit me in front of my sister.
Great to see you, Sean. Thank you so much. And this is a phenomenal idea by President Trump that will be executed upon. In fact, I can confirm for you that the White House has already administered calls with the Bureau of Prisons, our counterparts at the Department of Justice, and our counterparts at the Department of Interior, because Alcatraz is now run by the National Park Service, and we know our great Secretary of Interior, Doug Burgum, is in charge of that. So the Bureau of Prisons has already confirmed that they are assessing next steps to reopen this notorious prison. And the reason for it is because President Trump is leaving no stone unturned to restore law and order to our country and to make it very clear to criminals, repeat offenders, not just illegal immigrant criminals, but also American citizens who have refused to comply with our nation's laws. If you have been repeatedly breaking the law, if you are in and out of prison, that is ending under this administration. President Trump's team is going to enforce our laws and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. So we are absolutely looking into this, assessing next steps, and it's a part of the president's big picture law and order agenda, which is obviously working, especially when you look at the illegal border crossings at our southern border. The border is secure, mass deportations are underway, and law and order is back in America thanks to President Trump.
Caroline, what did you and the administration make of the Sinaloa cartel gang member interviewed on CNN? Why would they care what he thinks?
Well, it was fascinating to me, Sean. I was actually scrolling on Instagram when I came across this interview, and it stopped me in my tracks, not just because they sat down with a member of a Mexican cartel that is now designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the United States government, but because of the nature of the questions of this notorious foreign terrorist. It was a softball interview giving a platform to a notorious drug cartel that has killed American citizens. I thought it was quite despicable. But again, this is just another reason why the trust in the legacy media is at an all-time low amongst the American public.
But, you know, Caroline, things are changing dramatically inside the press briefing room. You have a lot of new media that you have invited in. I thought it was very clever when you walk in the White House in the front gate, you see that there's sort of like a media row and all the different networks have the little spot. And then behind them, you put up posters of people that committed the most heinous crimes against Americans. For most of those networks, that might be the first time that people are learning about the number of crimes, the murders and rapes and violent crimes committed by people, because they didn't really report on it that often. And then a lot of chatter today about, quote, the White House's own Drudge Report. You have decided to put out your own information that people can now bypass the media and go directly to what you're saying about the different issues and what the president's doing, a whole new approach to media. Tell me about it.
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. And it's because President Trump has revolutionized media and the way Americans consume media. He started this on the campaign when he opened the campaign to social media influencers and podcasters, and he was willing to take that non-traditional media route. And we have continued that effort at the White House. And it's sad, truly, that we have to put mugshots of illegal alien criminals on the front lawn of the White House in order for the mainstream media to actually cover these stories. They should be covering them, but because they do not, we will put them right in their faces. And it drew a lot of attention, as it should. Last week at the White House, I met with angel mothers whose names your audience may not know because they are living in silence. They are living in a tragic circumstance where their children were taken away from them by illegal alien criminals. And no politician, they told me, in from the Secretary of Homeland Security. We are encouraging illegal aliens in the interior of our country to self-deport. ICE is conducting successful operations on the ground in communities across the country. But if you are here illegally, do the right thing and go home. This president and this administration are enforcing our nation's immigration laws on behalf of the law-abiding American citizens who want to trust our system of justice, but especially on behalf of those who have tragically lost their lives at the hands of violent illegal criminals.
Last question. Wall Street had just had its longest winning streak since 2004. It has a slight dip today, but leading up to today. And I guess people want to know the status of trade deals. We had Scott Besson on the program last week. He said there are 17 identified countries to go first, and he's very confident that they're getting closer to making these trade deals and resolving the tariff issues. Well, can you update us on that?
The trade deals are continuing to move along in a positive and productive direction. The Secretary of Treasury, Secretary of Commerce, the President himself continue to be engaged on this every single day, keeping in mind the American worker and reshoring jobs here at home. You had a new announcement from the President yesterday. Tariffs on the film industry. We're going to make Hollywood great again. And it's just one of the many great proposals the President has had to make our country boom again and to bring jobs back here at home.
All right. Our White House briefing with Caroline Levitt.